people suddenly realized in fear that something huge seemed to be hiding in the sky. Soon after, they received an emergency evacuation notice from the government. Just as they were wondering, a more terrifying sight appeared. A plane in the sky seemed to be controlled by some unseen force, and slowly, it began to land in the bustling city center. People panicked and ran in all directions, and at that moment, the massive object in the sky finally revealed itself. It was a giant alien spaceship. It covered the entire city, blocking out the sun and leaving people breathless. Everyone finally realized alien civilization was invading Earth. And it wasn't just New York. These ships appeared over global cities. Countries' military forces quickly assembled, ready to fight to the death with the aliens. But strangely, the alien ships didn't attack. Aside from grounding all human aircraft, they remained still, hovering in the sky like gods, watching over the tiny humans below. People speculated this was just the calm before the storm. And sure enough, the next day, people discovered their deceased loved ones had come back to life. It turned out these loved ones were illusions created by the aliens to communicate with humanity. The aliens, calling themselves the Overlords, declared that they weren't here to harm humanity. Instead, they came to help Earth. The planet was filled with war, famine, and inequality, and with their arrival, all this suffering would end. They also promised not to interfere in human affairs. World leaders couldn't sit still. They immediately called an emergency meeting. Officials argued that the aliens couldn't possibly be so kind, because in their eyes, humanity was as weak as pigs. And everyone knew pigs, once fattened up, were slaughtered. But right now, humanity's military strength couldn't harm the overlords. So they decided to stay put and see what the aliens would do next. On the other hand, ordinary people were overwhelmed with panic. While world leaders debated how to fight the overlords, Jess stood up. He argued that arguing was pointless because humanity had no means to fight the aliens. Instead, they might as well eat, drink, and live for the moment. After all, the overlords had shown no hostility. On the contrary, they kept helping humanity. Listening to Jess, the others stopped thinking about fighting the overlords. What Jess didn't expect was that his actions would completely change his life.